Hi everyone, meteorologist Chad Evans here with a look at your daily weather forecast video, sponsored always by Trent Johnson, State Farm. TrentIsMyAgent.com. Thankful to Trent, thankful to all of you and all of our sponsors for making this possible. I hope everybody had a great holiday and has a great day today. We've got a lot of weather to talk about, a lot of changes in this forecast. So we've got another round of near, if not record warmth in the forecast area, specifically in the southern part of the area, but everybody's going to get warm, especially on Sunday. Today's already been a warm day for a lot of the area, but what's interesting is this is something I talked about in the morning forecast. So isolated severe weather, southern Illinois, southern Indiana, back to Missouri, and the big question here is just how much instability can we get? And what I mean by that is, how buoyant is our air? So you can take a balloon and fill it maybe with just barely a little bit of air, and no matter how much you try to keep that balloon up, it wants to sink every time. If you put just a little extra helium in it, it'll tend to rise just a little bit better, or it may stay in the air a little bit longer. Well, that's the case here. If we can just add a little bit more buoyancy, storms tend to occur, storms tend to last longer. It appears we may have just enough for isolated severe weather risk here Sunday evening as temperatures warm, just enough buoyancy. And again, the winds through the atmosphere will be so strong anyway, it wouldn't take much buoyancy to get some of that wind down to the surface. Because remember, what goes up must come down. So if we got a little bit of buoyancy, we're able to get those severe gusts down to the ground. All that said though, isolated severe weather risk and soaking heavier rainfall gives way to a shot of much colder air to start next week. We may warm up briefly on New Year's Eve, and then we get colder once again. And we'll probably have another cold shot after that with a clipper system with some minor accumulating snow closer to January 5th. So there's a lot of ups and downs in this forecast. This warmth has been very impressive. You know, when you get to 79 in central Missouri in late December, that's an incredible feat. It's an incredible feat to do in early December, but to do it in late December is amazing. And to have an overnight low in the low 60s, I mean, that's like May kind of weather. Low 80s northeast Oklahoma. I think we get to 86 or 87 at Lubbock, Texas. There are trees budding in Denver and Salt Lake City and parts of southeast Wyoming I've seen. Forsythias are blooming in Denver, same at Salt Lake City, and even though I despise Bradford pears, they're highly invasive. I did see some Bradford pears starting to bloom actually in Salt Lake City as they had enough chilling hours. Now it's just been so warm out here, things are budding, and we're getting a taste of that. You see, like today, it's spring-like outside, and it's going to be spring-like on Sunday. The thing is, a little cold front's coming through now. It's produced a few showers, some drizzle around. We've had fog around in places, especially early today. But now temperatures will be falling, and we'll have some fog and a little drizzle this evening and into tonight. But not after being near record warm today. We had a 42 this morning. I have forecasted 62 at the Purdue Airport. At last check, I believe we'd hit 61 degrees, but still ranking up there as one of the warmest post-Christmas days on record. It's 60 now at that Purdue Airport, but it's 55 at Round Grove. We're turning cooler as the front's dropping south, but still 64 at Cayuga and 62 down here towards Sheridan. 58 at Galveston, even a couple peaks of sun at Frankfort, but you notice the fog and the drizzle and the low clouds with falling temperatures at Remington right now. So that said, tomorrow is a mostly cloudy day until some showers start to come in during the evening. And remember, there'll be some fog around tomorrow as well. This is a warm front coming northward, and with that warm front, the rain increasing Saturday night and into Sunday morning. Maybe even a little thunder developing on Sunday as well. Then the warm front goes north, we're in the warmth, and then this developing squall line will come through along an Arctic front sliding to the southeast. And this is the one that's prompted this. The isolated severe weather risk pretty much forecast wide for Sunday between 7 and 9 p.m. as a little rope-like narrow squall line races through the area. The risk is there for a couple isolated severe gusts. You can't completely rule out a brief EF0 spin up given how strong the winds are on the low levels and a little bit of directional shear too. And there's going to be some locally heavy rain, but we can take some of that on because it's still relatively dry in the subsoil. We'll be able to soak some of that water in. The better chance of severe is actually southern Illinois, southern Indiana, and Missouri, where there's a little more buoyancy that overlaps the shear. That could be upgraded to a slight risk of severe weather. But for us, it's a 1. It is a 1 out of 5 on the scale for isolated severe storms within that little rope-like squall line, which is right here being projected, that will come through as our strong storm system pivots to the northeast. On the backside of it, temperatures tank rapidly, maybe a couple of snow showers, but nothing substantial. After a briefly colder weather on Monday, we warm up, and then towards the 5th of January, I want to watch this system. This little clipper could bring a wave of snow that may lead to some very minor accumulation. Now, like Tuesday late and Tuesday night, there could be a couple snow showers, a little freezing drizzle, but I'm more focused on closer to the 5th of January for this to perhaps bring some minor accumulation to the area. And once that goes through, then we watch warmer weather return. In this case, showers and even a few thunderstorms returning, and potentially 50s again. However, we've been talking about this for a while, the Arctic blast coming in mid-January. I still think that is on track, and I also think the risk of getting accumulating snowfall like a winter storm actually is on track for mid-January. So the first system should go through with the rainfall and the warmer weather. Then we get towards that mid-January point, the colder air begins to come in. We gotta watch that storm right there because I think this could come right up to the Ohio Valley, and that is a good track for snowfall here. Maybe ice down this way, but if it makes that track, you can see it brings the heavy snow into our area. And the potential is there for not only to lay down that heavy snow, but also produce some wind as well. So let's keep an eye on that mid-January point still. So we got one shot of colder air that comes in early this week. It gets a little bit warmer behind that, and then another shot will follow behind that. And then all eyes will be on the Arctic air coming in mid-January because it is lining up right here. And this is a loosening of the polar vortex. A piece of that polar vortex may break off. We can see temperatures up to 50 degrees below normal into the Dakotas. And our daily high temperatures may not get above 0 for like a day here. And overnight lows way below 0 with this, the snowpack. Because if we get a storm here that goes like this, it'll lay the snowpack down on the back side of it. Here's the other thing though. After that polar vortex event and that potential winter storm, you get to late January. For example, this is January 22nd projection. It's much milder, big thaw. The last vestiges of cold go away. Likely ice jams on area creeks and streams as we see a big melt and we get some rain around here until the second kind of polar vortex event impacts us very late January to early February. But today temperatures will be falling from northwest to southeast as the cold front works through. Remember, a couple showers along that front, a little drizzle, a little fog behind it, and the wind's picking up from the northwest down into the 40s by 7 o'clock. Now tomorrow, some fog in the morning and maybe a break or two in the clouds briefly in spots in the afternoon. Then it's cloudy and showers start to come in by evening with a high of 52. And winds picking up out of the southeast, but highs will vary from mid-40s in our northeast and north to mid-50s in the south and upper 40s to low 50s right in the heart of our forecast area. On Sunday, warm front will be working northward. With that warm front, rainfall. Some fog initially, but rainfall, even a little thunder. Then we get a few breaks in the action before the squall line comes in between 7 and 9 p.m. with our high temperatures occurring after sunset actually. 63 at 7 p.m., only 54 at noon. And those winds picking up from the southwest as well. And look at those highs: 60 Rochester, 67 at Cayuga and Rockville, 63 at Lafayette, 62 here at Flora, and even 62 at Fowler for a spring-like day. And that 63 would make it the second warmest December 28th on the record at Greater Lafayette, tying with 1982 and 1946. There is your 10-day outlook. Much colder Monday. Look at the drop. Low of 18 Monday morning, wind chills, below 0 to the single digits, a high of only 24. A few snow showers, a little bit of freezing drizzle can't be ruled out late Tuesday and into Tuesday night. And then 41, then falling on New Year's Eve. Will likely be kind of hanging out in the 20s on New Year's Eve itself, and a high of 27 on New Year's Day. Still pretty cold after that until we watch the potential of getting that clipper in here with some minor accumulating snow